The loneliness at the top. And I'm talking about bigger business. I'm not talking about multinationals. I'm talking about business where you still know each other all, where you're not a number, where a lot of personal relations are, where also is a lot of gossip, positive, negative in a company. That's not easy when you want to change things, when you want to make it more positive, or when there are simply a lot of problems. Personally, I did a lot of crisis management, startup management, and that is uh, for me easy. How strange it sometimes sounds, but it's really easy. Uh, it's concentrating on your job, especially the first 2, 3, 4 months, highly concentrated working. Forget 40 hours, you work 100 hours and you get it done. And you change the mentality, etc., etc. But you get always opposition, you get gossip. And also to make the decisions for a lot of people, that is not easy. For a lot of people in the top, the decision making, what affects 100, 200, 300 families, that is difficult. That affects a family business which is there for 50, 80, 100 years. That is not easy. And with who can you talk about without that there is a gossip going around? And I'm talking gossip like it demotivates people. Maybe the best of your staff members say, I don't like that what I hear, I'm going. That can be the drop of your business, that you go out of business. Yeah. So it can reach the bank, and the bank says, are we here now? We don't like it. And that is when the situation is critical, a good communication with the bank, a good communication with the local government, with the tax office is essential. But it all is on that one person. And when you are lucky, you have a team. But also in the team, you can't talk about a lot of things because the team members start talking with their assistants, etc., and have information come through to the staff. So, yes, with who can you talk about that? Well, with a life coach, you can talk about that. I understand business, I understand bigger business, I run bigger business, crisis management, startup management. What is always crisis is for me, I do that more than 40 years. And that means that it's making the decision is for me easy. But I know also that I had these moments where I thought, where the heck we have to go now? What do I do with that? But I also learned a lot of things along the road. In the first years, I say, for instance, the first years I had staff members who were really destructive and negative, ruining a healthy discussion on a department because they were longer there. They had totally other views than management, owners, and that gives frustration because that frustration from that 1 or 2 or 3 persons goes to others, but also comes to management that they think, well, we created this path, we want to go there, and then we receive a lot of resistance anyway, not really enthusiasm to do it. Well, that doesn't work. So you have to get that out. And dishonest people. And one way to do that is have a very open discussion. Put the things on the table. And that's for a lot of people difficult, especially when you work 20 years with people. But in 20 years, One person goes to positive and constructive, and another person goes to negative and destructive. So you can't have that in a business, because one of the main things for me is always important. How do people feel in their work? Are they feeling okay? Are they happy? Is their personal life improving? Is their family going well? The kids going to school? When I see families, kids, I see them with 3, 4 years, and then 5 years later, 8, 9, 10 years, and the improvements, how everything goes, slowly a house gets better, and it's something like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's the reward for me. It's not about the money. I never cared about money. I always say when you do something positive, money comes, and then we'll see what we do with it. And I'm the first person who shares. But making the decisions at the top is still lonely, because 80% of the people go with the flow. This is not something that I simply say. This is a proven fact. And they say 80% of the people go with the herd. When the herd goes to right in politics, there is a part of the 80% that was maybe right, but the rest is simply following. And then later you see a country shifting to left, and then up the majority, and that is 80% is following the herd. So there's only 20% that really thinks by themselves, without fear, without following the group, having his own opinion. That's a little bit, and you have to know that when you manage a business. So when you're there on top and you have great ideas, you don't want to have the great ideas leaking to other companies. So how do you discuss that? You need to find a way to get certain new developments financed without that your bank immediately knows. Are there other ways? You have to discuss that with someone. How to do it? Are there some channels where we can get it? Etc., etc. Now, certain countries that's difficult, okay? You're in Caribbean island and you need finance, you think you get it out of the States. But there are other ways. And there are ways of partnerships, etc., etc. I'm not so in favor of that quick money in, quick money out. Investments in a company should be made by people who have at least a medium-long view. Prefer a long, but not these short-term, quickly making money people. It's never good, never. Maybe in certain things of the online business, but not with businesses that produce, business that sell. I don't see that. Quickly in, quickly out is not good. So coming back on the loneliness of that management who critical things, decision making, you hardly can share it. Before, people walk away with ideas and they become competition. Or it goes to the competition when you have great ideas. And I'm not even talking about when things are really bad, that your staff and your clients, guests still think, hey, this is great, this business is great, but the numbers show something totally different and show really a decline of cash coming in, people spend less, and the question is, of course, why? The first thing is for me always, what staff do you have? When you come in and you're sitting somewhere and a waiter says, what do you want? Now, that disgusts me already, okay? In Spanish they say, ¿Qué quieres? It's so terrible that I can guarantee you, when you staff or half your staff is doing that, you lose 30% of your sales. Simply by that way of, like, I don't care about you. That is what a way they're telling you. I see it on call centers where they don't answer your questions. You put in there on a WhatsApp chat 4 questions, you don't get answers. Because they answer you the first one and the other 3 they don't answer you. They answer you after 2-3 days. When you reply, you wait a week. You ask a price, well, they make it, they make it a tour to get simply a price from these people sometimes. What is a square meter price? Roughly. Well, and there they go. And then it's something like, people, train your staff. Get people excited to buy something from you. Make guests happy, whatever it costs. I have an example there, and let me check a little bit the time, 11 minutes. I managed 7 resorts in Haco. Part was in construction, and one had construction on the side. And we got a lady in for a week, and she says, I get a call early in the morning, 7 o'clock. Mr. Dix, those guests that arrived yesterday are angry on the phone. Terrible. I say, give them to me. So I get this lady on the phone. She says, what the heck is this? I want to have a week free. On the beach, I want to be happy. And I'm hearing drilling here. And they cutting iron or whatever. She said, oh man, I'm so sorry. They working there at the back, and listen, I will come over. And I went personally over there. Now I had enough staff to do that, okay? I went personally over there. I said, ma'am, I hear it. We get you somewhere else. I will put you in one of our other resorts. There are 2 condos in front of the beach with a private pool. Not with a common pool. And this is a beautiful place. Of course, I live there myself also. But I will place you there. And the staff will help you packing in and brings you over there. All right? Great, she says. Thank you. Good. She is there. 2 days later, Mr. Dix, this is awful. He said, wow. He said, yesterday you were so happy. Tell me what now? Okay. There was an old building on that resort, about 30 meters from where we put her, on one of the best spots we had. Without upgrade money, big upgrade, and we put her there. And I said, what's happening? She says, they're drilling. He said, I hear it in the background. I'm coming. So I come, and we had a little building there next to the pool, and they decide to drill it down. Nobody was informed. That was the construction. It was planned, but nobody knew it should be done that day or that week. So there you go. I said to the lady, this is awful, man. This is awful. But she was like, she saw we really tried to do the best for her. She says, when I closed at the back the windows, I hear nothing. He said, also not when you sit up front. He said, I can replace you to another side. And she was actually very friendly. She says, Mr. Dick, don't worry. I hope it's for a day. And he said, I will ask. Now they told me already, could go for a week. And she was there 8 days. Good. Now, what do you think I did? I went to the lady and said, you know what? I will do this with you. You paid this vacation, he said, and I want you to come back within a year, and you get also 8 days for free. And she looked at me. Are you kidding? He said, no. Because you did not receive what you asked for. A quiet, peaceful, you got disturbance, you got irritation, and that's the last thing we want to give you. I got criticized by that, by the owners. Rather, when we start doing that, well, 4 months later she comes back with 2 families more. They rented 3 units. They stayed for 2 weeks. She paid another week more. 1 week she got free. I got a big return and a fantastic marketing, fantastic response. And I'm sure till now, that follows up, that story goes from one to another. Therefore, I'm always happy when there is a problem, because you can make it a marketing tool. But still, you have to do it. And you have to make decisions. I made a decision. I gave this lady a week for free. Well, it was not appreciated, but I took the risk for that because I thought, whatever, they paid for a good vacation. And this is now, sometimes you have to make decisions. Most of the time, I have no problem with that, 99%. But there are people who have really a problem with that. It's very difficult. And then we can support, I can support. I can be the life coach where you can talk about things that you say they are delicate, don't know what direction. In reality, most of the time they know. But to make that decision, that is the difficult thing. And of course, the risk factors around it, and that you can talk about that, these risk factors, like, okay, but I have this person, and I have that situation, and I have that financial thing, and how do we solve that? And when people we all brainstorm with ourselves in our mind. Talking to ourselves in a ear, and it goes brainstorming. But that is always in a small circle. And now you extend that circle with a life coach. And I tell you, you will be surprised, not only feeling supported, but feeling like, I get things done, finally. Because most of the time, people are very capable to do it. But it's the decision, to make that decision. It's like a very toxic relation to say, I have to finish this. That can be hard, that can be heartbreaking, that can be terrible, but you need to do it. And when you wait long enough, you get heart attacks, you get stress, you get cancer from the stress, etc., etc., etc. You get an unhealthy environment where you live in. It affects your work, it affects your private, everything. Decision making is key. Therefore, here is the Happy Life Coach.